His condition, as inexplicable as it initially seemed, has opened the door to breakthroughs that could change countless lives. Hello and welcome to the Mystery Channel, where in each video we discuss strange and profound topics, revealing secrets that science is still unable to fully explain. It's a rainy October afternoon in Manchester, England. Stephen Butterworth, a soft-spoken, middle-aged man, is strolling through the park, seemingly unfazed by the chill in the air. He adjusts his scarf but winces, not from pain, but from the cold seeping in. This tiny, almost imperceptible reaction is the closest thing Stephen has ever felt to discomfort, and it's perplexing to doctors, researchers, and even to himself, because Stephen Butterworth feels no pain. We're not talking about bravery or stoicism or some extraordinary mental toughness. No, Stephen literally cannot feel pain. Take a moment to imagine that. No paper cuts, no throbbing headaches, no broken bones screaming for relief. But also no warning signs, no discomfort to tell him something is wrong, and no instinctive reactions to protect a fragile body from harm. How did this man come to possess what might seem like a superhuman ability? And what does it reveal about the human body's limits and mysteries? This is the story of the man who feels no pain and the scientific enigma of Stephen Butterworth. Stephen Butterworth's peculiar condition didn't become a noticeable issue until he was a child, and even then it was more curiosity than concern. As a young boy growing up in Manchester's working-class neighborhoods, Stephen loved roughhousing with his friends, climbing trees, and skating on frozen ponds. His mother, however, began noticing strange things. One memory stands out vividly for her. Stephen was 8 years old and playing with his cousins when he fell off a tall fence in the backyard. The fall left most kids with scrapes, bruises, or at least a rush of tears, but not Stephen. He calmly stood up, dusted off his knees, and kept playing. When his mother checked later, she saw cuts on his legs that were serious enough to need stitches, but Stephen had barely seemed to notice. To him, it was as if the pain wasn't real or didn't exist at all. As Stephen grew older, these bizarre incidents kept piling up like an unsettling series of coincidences. There was the time he accidentally spilled boiling water on his hand while cooking and didn't flinch. His classmates were horrified when Stephen limped into school one day with a broken ankle, which Stephen claimed he hadn't even realized was broken at first. It just felt weird when walking. For the Butterworth family, Stephen's life was an ongoing mystery. Doctors, initially baffled by his case, examined him thoroughly. At first, some believed his inability to feel pain was psychosomatic, perhaps a psychological reaction to trauma rather than a physical anomaly. But Stephen had lived a perfectly happy childhood, and the physiological signs, or lack thereof, told a different story altogether. The real breakthrough came when Stephen was in his late teens, after a team of neurologists at University Hospital in Manchester decided to investigate him as a medical curiosity. Using advanced imaging and genetic testing, they began to piece together the puzzle of Stephen's condition. What they discovered was astonishing. A rare genetic mutation that seemed to prevent the proper development of pain receptors in his body. Let's take a step back for a second. Sodium channels are like communication highways in your nervous system, responsible for transmitting signals, including the sensation of pain, to your brain. Without functioning Nav1.7 channels, Stephen's body was unable to deliver pain signals. His brain never received the memo telling him, "Hey, this hurts." It was as if the circuitry for pain was switched off at its very core. At the time, Stephen's unique condition was not entirely understood. Cases like his are exceptionally rare. Scientists estimate that fewer than 100 people in the world share this genetic anomaly. But what researchers did know is that his case held clues that could revolutionize medicine. If you could figure out how to selectively replicate his ability to block pain, it could mean breakthroughs for people suffering from chronic pain disorders, arthritis, or even more profound illnesses. Yet Stephen himself faced unique challenges that most of us wouldn't immediately consider. While it's easy to imagine how wonderful a pain-free existence might sound, Stephen lived in constant danger because of what his body couldn't perceive. Without pain as an alarm system, he was at risk of severe injuries and even life-threatening situations without realizing it. I still remember the day I burned my fingers cooking dinner. The only reason I noticed, Stephen recounts, was because I smelled something burning. I didn't even feel it at all. Or worse, illnesses that most of us catch early as minor inconveniences could escalate rapidly in Stephen's body. Infections, appendicitis, and ulcers, anything that typically causes sharp or agonizing pain, may as well have been happening in another person, invisible to Stephen's perceptions. His appendectomy at age 24, for instance, was almost missed entirely because Stephen simply never felt the telltale abdominal pain. To live safely, Stephen had to develop an entirely different way of thinking about his body. Regular checkups, routine self-examinations, and an awareness of minor symptoms became central to his survival. His family and doctors would often remind him to double-check his skin for cuts or bruises after even minor accidents and look for signs of swelling or discoloration. But Stephen's story isn't just one of survival, it's also a story of optimism, curiosity, and resilience. From an early age, Stephen embraced the mystery of his condition and became an advocate for understanding pain itself. He began working closely with medical researchers who studied his genetic mutation, and his case eventually made its way into the scientific journals. To Stephen, knowledge was power, not just for himself, but for the millions of people around the world suffering from excruciating chronic pain. Researchers studying his NaV1.7 mutation believe it holds the key to a new generation of painkiller medications. By developing drugs that could selectively block those same sodium channels, scientists hope to mimic the effects of Stephen's pain resistance while still allowing patients to feel other sensations. Imagine a pain-free surgery without the need for general anesthesia, or a diabetic patient who no longer feels the searing agony of nerve degeneration. In recent years, Stephen Butterworth has lent his voice to these studies, sometimes literally giving speeches at medical conferences or collaborating on awareness campaigns. For someone who can't feel pain, Stephen has shown an extraordinary ability to empathize with those who do. But there's one last twist to this story that makes it even more remarkable. Stephen has revealed that it's not just pain he can't feel. He also doesn't experience fear in the same way most people do. Pain and fear, after all, are closely linked in the brain. Both are meant to warn us, protect us, and teach us what to avoid. For Stephen, a life without pain is also a life without the instinctive terror most of us feel in the face of threats. When asked if he's ever been afraid of his condition, he smiles with calm acceptance.
No pain doesn't mean no caution. I've learned to adjust. I respect my body. I might not feel pain, but that doesn't mean I don't listen to what my body tells me in other ways.
Stephen's life is a balance, a tightrope walk between vigilance and wonder, science and survival. His condition, as inexplicable as it initially seemed, has opened the door to breakthroughs that could change countless lives. And while he may never know what pain feels like, Stephen Butterworth is a reminder of something deeply human: our capacity to learn from our limits, adapt, and find meaning in the most mysterious corners of existence. So if you enjoyed this video and are interested in mysterious phenomena and mysterious historical incidents, don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more incredible and unbelievable stories. And leave us a comment with your opinion on this topic. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.